Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Endless Space Disharmony Episode 1. This is something that I have been wanting to do for quite some time. It's definitely a long time coming, this one. I originally did my Endless Space series probably close to over a year ago now. Probably a year ago, I think, when we last played Endless Space on the channel, and the plan was always to do a series on Disharmony, which is the only paid-for expansion for Endless Space. There's been several free DLCs, but Disharmony is the sort of biggest one they did, and it was paid for. Quite cheap, but yeah, the plan was always to do a series of it, but I must confess, although I liked a lot of the additions, I hated some of the changes that they put in. I won't go into it in too much detail because, in all honesty, over the subsequent patches, they've pretty much removed all of the things that I didn't like. There's still a couple of things that sort of bug me. I think it's a little bit overcomplicated in some senses, but yeah, they've changed a lot of things, and even you know, like just a week ago, at the time we're recording this, they've recently just you know, brought an update out for it and actually put more content in. You know, you can't really argue for the. You can't really argue with the post-release support and such. It's probably 2 or 3 years old now, so they're still getting updates. You can't really argue with that, can you? Anyway, Endless Space Disharmony. If you don't know what it is a 4X space strategy game. You have ships, you have planets, you go around, you destroy people, or you can talk to them and buy them out, or do whatever, and we'll be doing a series on it. So, hopefully you saw the original. If you haven't, then you might want to watch it, you might not want to. I'm going to be going through the game as if you don't know what this is, sort of thing. In the first episode of this series, I'll be roughly explaining in more detail than perhaps I normally would. So, sort of mini tutorial, you could call it. But the thing is, as I always said, when I play these type of games, I do like 4X strategy games. I'm just not the best at them. In fact, I make terrible mistakes. I often don't, you know, pick the right things, and people are very quick to shout at me in the comments. But that's fine because I'm having fun. So I think that's the main thing. Surely it is a game after all. So don't expect perfection on this one. That's fair warning right there. I also don't know if I'm going to win, but we will see. Anyway, the plan is to do actually two series on this one, or at least 2. That's the plan. The first one will be very similar to what I did with my Endless Legend series, where the plan is to do a very small first series, maybe 3, 4, 5 episodes long, something like that, where we do standard size maps, standard difficulty, all that sort of thing, not even a custom faction. And then we sort of blast through that, I get used to it again, and then whatnot, and then we can probably start again with massive size, so 8 empires, massive galaxy, knock the difficulty up, all of that sort of thing. You get the idea. I hope you get the idea. Anyway. Just have a sip of beverage there. Not slurping it as well, because people have been going on at me for that as well. And the thing is, I don't do the whole in life anyway, because that's just rude and not very, yeah, it's just bad manners, so I think I'm going to ditch it. Anyway, you understand that I'm taking a sip of beverage. So, today's beverage is milk, by the way. Right, so we're going to do a disc shape galaxy. We're going to have medium size, age normal. These all alter how you start. I'm not going to run through them in detail. There's no point. Empires will have 5. I could have more, but it'll be a little bit too like sort of squished up and compact for my liking. The difficulty setting is going to be normal, game speed normal. Now the thing is, the difficulty in Disharmony is actually a lot higher than in the original, in vanilla, because well, they've just upped it for some reason. They've managed to either, you know, get it working better and thinking better, or whatever they've done to the AI has made it harder. So if you play sort of normal Disharmony, you're actually playing hard. If you play a normal level of difficulty in Disharmony, you're actually probably playing a hard or even close to serious level when you compare it to the original. So if I run it on normal, now we're actually running it between hard and serious when you compare it to the original Endless Space. At least that's my experience of it anyway. The computer is a lot smarter in its decisions and a lot more aggressive. Originally it wouldn't really attack, now it pretty much always does. So yeah, we have to be aware of that. So we're just going to run on normal, then we'll knock it up a couple of notches, probably to serious or above later on in the next one that we do. Right, let's have a quick rundown of the empires. There are 12 empires in the game. I'm going to briefly go through them. United Empire, sort of, you could call them warlike. They're sort of they're like killing people, but they also like their industry and such. The Cravers are probably the most warlike, if not the most warlike of the entire of all of these factions, because their affinity, every faction has an affinity, which gives them an overall strategic plan. It alters their tech tree and the sort of the way they can go about doing things, and also a special bonus they get as well. The United Empire is when you reduce the tax rate, you get a bonus in industry. The Cravers is that you get a bonus to your resources right at the start, but it also wrecks all of your planets later game, so you don't want to be sitting around too long. They also can never go to anything other than a Cold War, so that's as close as you can get to peace with them, so they're generally aggressive when you see them. Sophons, very technology, very science orientated. They can tech up faster than anyone else. Horatio are all about characters and population, so they generally have more high population than anybody else. They also have cloning characters, so they have a lot of characters. Characters are very powerful in the game. Hisso are very aggressive because they have a Bushido sort of bonus, where the more they attack, the better they get at doing it. They get bonus to attack and damage and such. Soas are something I'm not that familiar with. They are the sort of, well, the robots, and they don't really use food as a resource, but they do get a bonus to their industry, which is quite good. Amoeba are the diplomatic faction of the game. They can see everybody on the map when they first start. They have the full galaxy opened up, and they can trade quite well. The Pilgrims are an interesting one. Their affinity is they can bundle a star system up into one big arc and then transport it off, something which almost nobody ever does because it's a bit stupid. I've never seen anyone use it effectively. I don't really see the point in it, but their other tech stuff is quite good. They're an interesting one. They are an interesting one, but not something that I generally play often. Automatons are sort of clockwork. Yeah, I think they are actually clockwork, them things. But anyway, they're another sort of automaton robot-y type thing. They are good for industry. Normally when you don't use something like a resource, it just sort of sits there doing nothing. These can stack industry, so they have a big warehouse and they put generic boxes of industry in piles. When you come to build something, they open the warehouse and go, right lads, put it in there, and then they pile it into the ship, empty the boxes into the ship, and the ship builds really quick. Harmony are probably the most different of all the factions. They can't use dust, which is one of the resources in the game. They want to wipe it out. They hate it, and as you can see, they look like the Silix from Endless Legend. Interesting one. Obviously, the Endless Legend and Endless Space are in the same universe. Sheridan are very similar to United Empire. They are aggressive. They have an affinity where no one can run away, and their tech tree is very it's something I like, actually. They have a couple of good ships. Volters, as well, are just these exact same Volters as you get from Endless Legend. They are space Vikings. They have machine guns, but they wear kilts or whatever, and as you can see, they're shooting in space. Yeah, they're an interesting one, them. They have the affinity of being able to jump between their systems when they get upgraded, and they're very science orientated as well, so quite good. Anyway, we're going to run with the Sheridan because they are very universal, I would say. They're quite aggressive, but they're very good with dust, and dust you can use to pretty much buy anything anyway. So, yeah, I think we'll do that. We're going to have other random factions as well. I'm just going to change. Can you change the colour? I don't think you can. Nope, that's gone back. Doesn't look like we can. I don't. Yeah, we can actually put someone on that we want to. I think we're just going to run with 5 empires, me and 4 the AIs. That should do us quite nicely. Let's start the game on that one. Right, so we're going to get a little blurb here.
As the United Empire, the Sheridan were created to serve and protect its first leaders.
Okay.
As the Empire evolved, the one thing that remained constant was their code. Integrity, loyalty, perseverance.
And the love for trifle.
But everything changed when Emperor Zelivas took the throne. For whatever deal was made or bargain struck, they are now free of formal ties to the Empire.
Okay, that's missiles.
Skilled and experienced, with a galaxy to explore or conquer, the Sheridan are finally in business for themselves.
Okay, so there's a little blurb on what the Sheridan are, blah blah blah. They were alright. Now some guys turned up and went, we should be going into space and killing everything. And that's what's happened, I guess. Anyway, we don't really care about that. What we care about is how you play the game. So a quick run down the UI. Top left, all the buttons that you use to navigate the game. In the center, obviously, we've got our galaxy. We can scroll right out. There's the galaxy that we're in. There's another galaxy back there. We can't scroll into that one there. We've got our planets. There's some ships there, and we've got little lines connecting up all of our different other systems that we know about, but we haven't visited these ones. We know that there's the star there. We can see there. but we haven't actually visited them. This is our sort of area, sort of influence, I guess it is. And when it can expand and annoy other people when it expands, you can't sort of charge into it when you're at war. There's a lot of things that actually does. The UI is very, very slick, just something that Amplitude do very, very well. Amplitude Studios are the people that make this game, by the way. It's just something they do with it. Just, you know, it's very, very slick and smooth. Anyway, we've just got some buttons on the bottom right. This is telling us that we've got some heroes available. We'll just close that off. This is showing us that we have 2 ships, or 2 fleets rather, ready to do something, and then we can end the turn. Currently turn 1 and 3000 AD. So let's have a look at our system. You can see it's called Ranis, and there we go. And we're going to call it generic system. No, we can't call it that. We're going to call it GS1, generic system 1. Okay, there we go. So this is GS1, our homeland, and we can see that we're currently on a Terran planet. There you go. So this is all of our resources. So it's actually FIDS, food, industry, science, and dust. FIDS? Food, industry, dust, science, I guess it would be. FIDS. Yeah, FIDS, food, industry, dust, science. Shows you our population, currently 3 of 6, because we can only have 6 people on this planet. We can obviously colonize the barren planet, desert planet, or other barren planet when we get the technology. Currently we don't have the technology for that. Approval is based on many, many, many things. When you mouse over it, it tells you what it is, and currently it's content, which is fine. No hero assigned here yet, no strategic resources or luxury resources found, and no trading because we don't know who's there. On the bottom we can see we got system improvements. We can also build some ships, so colony ships, defender ships, scouts, and we have things that are in the hangar, etc. So no exploitation at the moment, so we need to change that. We can click and zoom in. Look at that, lovely looking game. I mean, like I say, it's actually 2 or 3 years old now, but it's still beautiful looking. Anyway, we need to exploit something on here. We're going to exploit food. So we get a little bonus to our food, and it increases our population growth, which is always good. Right, so there's that sorted. Looks like there are some luxury resources here, actually. We've got some mercurite, 2 units of, which as you can see gives you some effects there. +3 dust per population and planet, +1 science per population on planet, and 4% ship experience, blah 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 blah, lots of things. And there's some I also got to say ironic crystals. No, it's ionic crystals, which gives you +10 approval on the planet with some other things as well. So not bad system there, not bad system there at all. Right, let's just click on our fleets and we can see what we have. So we have Alpha Fleet and we have Beta Fleet. Alpha Fleet is currently a scout, and it shows you all the statistics there. Yeah, this is one of the things I'm not a massive fan of. I think there's too many numbers and statistics, especially with Disharmony. It adds a lot more things like fighters and changes the weapons and how they work. And Endless Legend didn't suffer from that when it was there. We got like 10 stats and deal with it. This one's like 50 stats, and it's you don't really need to know all of them. That's the thing. Anyway, we're going to use our scout and we're going to send him over there. So there we go. There goes our scout. Whee! And it heads off. You can see this is his sort of view radius, but we can't see that there because we've never visited it. Right, we've also got a colony ship, which is here. Now, I could send it off, but it's generally not advisable. I'm still going to ignore my own advice, though, and send it off to scout there. We haven't got pirates on in this one because I really, really hate pirates, so there's no chance of us running into anything nasty around here because, well, unless the opponent sends some ships at us, but I don't think they will do that. Let's have a quick look at our Empire screen. It shows you our current dust intake, which is currently +9 per turn. We can alter our tax rating if we want. I'm just going to keep it at 40% where it was there. Shows you our systems as well, obviously only one. Research, this is something we need to deal with very, very quick. We need to, you know, have a quick look at it. It's based on military, sciences, exploration, and diplomacy. Okay, so the left one we won't be delving too much into because we're going to kick the crap out of the opponents. I think actually, no, we probably might do because, you know, the Sheridan do a lot of dust things, so they get a lot of dust which you can use to buy out ships, and that's on this tree. So what we need to do is probably, well, we'll have a look at the tree in detail later, but for the time being I'm going to research N-Way fusion plants, which gives me heavy isotope refineries, which is one of the upgrades that is like a must when you first start. A couple of other buttons we haven't really looked at. First one is our military tab, shows you our fleets in more detail. We can also create our own ships from here, something that we will do later on. We don't need to do any of that at the moment. Next tab is our diplomatic tab. As you can see, there's us in the center. And these are all of the other sort of friendlies, or maybe friendlies, maybe enemies. Basically, the other factions in the game. We haven't met them yet, so they're not actually lit up in that sort of weird Star Wars holographic screen. And finally, we have the hero section, which is always something we need to look at. We've currently got 3 heroes. This one is a corporate and pilot hero. This one is a corporate and pilot hero. And this one is an administrator and pilot hero. So, a bit weird. We don't really have a good administrator. I like like to get someone that's corporate and administrator together, but we currently don't have them, so we might have to settle for just one of these. Well, what we'll do is we'll buy one of them and shove them on our home system. But anyway, let's just end the turn there. And that will be our first turn of this series. We'll also auto-move ships and we'll scout it out. So we found a couple of different systems. As you can see, we've got more lines moving off. And this one is large tundra, small Arctic. Not very interesting. We're going to move our colony ship over there. Our scout ship we will move over to there. Over to that white dwarf. Again, this one we can't colonize yet. That's got robotic locals. But again, look, it's all barren planets. What we're looking for really is a... We're looking for Jungle World or Terran World, really, to set up. But it's not fixed. It depends on what bonuses they will have. If this is in red, it means it's bad. If it's in green, it means it's good. If it's in orange, it means it's got some good and bad stuff in it. Anyway, we've got some exploration event when we went to there. And it was plus 10 dust. There we go. We got 29 dust, which means we can actually afford one of our heroes. So which one do we want to go first? Let's just click on this guy. We'll inspect him. I just want to inspect the administrator tab. What I need to do is go for high industry in the first instance. So if I blast down this director tree like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blast on that one, it might do us quite well. And then, obviously, the problem is that a lot of this other stuff, though, we don't really need, because his other abilities are pilot, and we will never really be using him for pilot. Although, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're probably going to unlock him. Actually, let me inspect him once more. He's got plus 8 food and plus 8 industry. Let me just check on my other person here. This is a corporate one, which is good for trade routes and such, but not good for industry. They've only got plus 8 on industry and dust, and this person's got plus 14 on each one. But again, they're only corporate. They don't have... Yeah, they're only corporate. They increase labour, which gives you more industry and such, but nah, I'm just going to have to... I think I'm going to go with this guy here. So we'll hire him, and then what we'll do is we'll assign him to a system. We've only got one system, and then he's assigned there. So there he is. He's actually sitting in the system there. Not very, very good. Now when we get some experience on him, we'll tell him to get a shave, and also we can get some... boosts in our industry as well. So again, just auto move some ships here. There's Artemis there. Again, another system where we can't really colonize. We wouldn't want to either with small Arctic, with radiation. Again, we'll move the scout ship there. But one of our... Well, we've actually found... A new exploration ship was created. So is that a scout? Yes, we actually found a new scout. That's good. That's very, very good. Anyway, we'll just end the turn there. We'll probably get to turn 20 in this episode or something like that. Again, we'll just auto move the ships there. Now, again, very, very big... sort of systems, but gas, hydrogen, asteroid belts, all stuff I can't really colonize at this you know, when we are, well, now desert, not very good. There's something over here that's an entropic field there on a tiny tundra, which is minus 30% upkeep on star system. Quite good. So this is an interesting one. We don't actually have anywhere, as far as I can see, to really colonize quite well. What we do have, though, is this back end system here where nobody else can get to it, which is good. We will end the turn there and see what we can colonize if we find something here. Again, moving the scout ship. Now, what I'm going to do is get this scout ship on automatically explore the galaxy, and this one I'll do it manually. You can set them automatically explore, so they're going to search around. Now, what I'm looking for really is opponents. Obviously, there are opponents on this one, so we need to check it out. Research complete here. Anyway, fusion plants. We've got that now. And we've got no research. Well, we need to change our research to something else. So I think we'll go for probably soil exobiology, which gives us some sustainable farms. I've actually already made a couple of mistakes because I wasn't doing anything on this system here. As you can see, it's been doing nothing for a couple of turns. Doesn't really matter that much at this stage. But heavy isotope refineries, we're going to build 4 turns to do that, and that'll increase our industry, which in turn will allow us to build things a bit faster. You can see we've actually got one more population on there as well, which is good, good, good. Looks like they're all barren planets here, so what I need to do is really think about researching going into barren planets, which that is tundra and that is arid. I believe barren's over here and barren's right over there, so getting barren planets is going to be a big pain. Let me just auto move some ships. Looks like we found Ayaz over here, which again is something that we don't really want to colonize. We don't really want to colonize anything there. That's interesting. Where's my scout ship? It's currently moving. It's not very fast though. So Might think about picking one of these down here. Robotic Locals is quite good, but again, it's a barren planet, so we can't really settle on there. This one's got Arctic and barren. We don't want to go there. This one has got an arid with a rich atmosphere. It's probably going to be the one we go for, actually. I think I'm going to turn the colony ship around and head over that way. But that does mean us being able to actually colonize an arid planet, which is in that bit there, which is arid epigenetics, something like that. And we will research that then, or start researching that. Plus 10 science for just explorating. We're going to send this guy back to the home system just for security as well, and then we'll end the turn there. So, not really a great starting area, and I can guarantee people have already shouted at me in the comments saying that I should have done something else, but whatever. There's our colony ship. It's heading back there. We need to get our scout and head them over to here. Like I say, we're trying to find everything we can about our, area, because we don't know who's next to us. We might have 2 cravers next to us. We've just found Sabale. Not bad at all. Look at that, large lava, tundra, again, lots of barren. Titanium 70 there, 2 units of, which is quite good, because we currently don't... Oh no, we do have Titanium 70. Yeah, it's currently on 1 unit on our home system here, which is quite good. We've also found 5 science as well, just lying in a big crate that says... Is that some science? You just land on a planet, there's just a box that says science. Oh, look, we've got some science. Yay. Right. Oh, many things here, pop-ups. So, first things first, we've got plus 3%, plus 3 experience on the Fleet Alpha, which is that one there, for finding Fidges. Oh, look at that. Large tundra, mutated flora. That's very good, in fact. That is very good, and it is only 2 jumps from my home system. A little bit far out for my liking, though, so we'll not bother with that just yet. We have found the Husk of Knowledge. Oh! And we found... Yeah, there it is. That barren planet there is actually the... Is that Auriga? I think that's Auriga. There's the Husk of Knowledge, I'm sure, is supposed to be Auriga, which is the planet that Endless Legend is set on. I think so. I think it might be that one. Anyway... So we know that that's there. That's quite good. We got another exploration event, which is experience on Gamma Fleet. That's fine. Yeah, Auriga discovered. Yes, Auriga. So it's the star around which the legendary planet Auriga orbits has been discovered. So it is that one there. That's where Auriga is in Justim. Very good. Okay, so we know that that is something we should probably colonize sooner rather than later, but we don't know who's around. In fact, I've got a bit of blind spot up the top there. So what I'm going to do is get my automated scouty guy. Actually, I'm sending him there, but then I'll pull him back and run over here. Right, we've got some level up on from our hero, which is quite good. So we're going to click on him, and when we can level him up in different things, I'm going to go for labor, which increases. You can see that says 14%. Yeah, you can see it goes from 8 to 14%. Increase in our industry, which is quite good. And we've finished some research, which is soil exobiology, which allows us to get sustainable farms, which increases our bonus food, but only on desert, Arctic, arid, and tundra. Currently we're on Terran, so there's no point in upgrading that at the moment, because all that will do are desert, Arctic, arid, and tundra. Yeah, we're on Terran planet, so that won't work, but it would give us -2 dust, so there's no point in upgrading that yet. When we start off going into jumping at the deserts and such, then it is actually quite important. So do you want to do that? I'm currently researching. When can you go to desert? It's tundra's there, barren, and desert. And I'm going for arid. Desert will be there. Desert, yes. So there's no point in doing that now. But if there's nothing else to do, then we might as well upgrade it for later on. So you know what? I'll shove it in the queue. There we go. So end the turn. There we go. And again, we're scouting stuff out. A little shooting star in the background there. Right, you go over there. I'll tell them to auto-move. There we go. Almost, we're exploring over here. You see how quite... it's not a bad size, this entire thing. But it's not tiny either. Right, so... Scout ship's going to go back there. A couple of turns, and then when it gets there, we'll be able to plonk down and such. Auto-move. In fact, what was Auriga on? Barren planet. Yeah, we can't get the barren planet. Ah, right. So we found some. We got some exploration event, and it seems you are not the only sentient being on the planet. So we can either be hostile, which will give us some experience on the Fleet Gamma. Selfish, which gives us 20 Dust, or helpful, which is 15% on all, 15 experience on all heroes. I'm going to go for selfish, confirm that because I don't want anything else. And we've got another one as well. Looks like we've got the same type of thing. Right, okay, here's an interesting one. All of this here, and all this here is blocked in, or basically it's only, you can only enter it via that system there and that system there. If we can defend both of them, then it means we actually have a quite decent location. It's very defensible, isn't it? Very defensible. Again, there's my little bonuses there, what I selected last turn. Arid, yeah, we can go to arid plants now. We've got that research. So what do we want to research now? Well, we could go for xenology. Xenology would sort us out, giving us a status improvement of 0 tourism agencies, which gives us a bonus in dust, in fact quite a bit more than normal because of the Sheridan affinity. And we've also got these luxury resource exploitation, which means we can use luxury resources. So we're going to go for that, and then we'll need to probably go for ice, probably for that as well, which is isolation shields. Get all of the ones at the start done very, very quickly. And now we can use our colony ship at the back to jump on this medium arid planet. And there we are. We've now settled their exploitation. We will set to going for food, and we can actually buy it out for 63. We've actually got 143. I'm not going to wait 8 turns for it to do, so I'm just going to buy it out straight away. Heavy isotope refineries will buy that, and that will take 12 turns to get on with that, but I'll probably buy it out later. So there's a little game event there, basically saying that we've settled on a new planet, which is the first for us at the moment. Right, so we need to scout. We can't scout any further here because that is a wormhole. We don't have the technology to sort of navigate wormholes, to traverse wormholes. We need that there, which is applied Casimir effect, or Kashmir effect, I like to call it. It's well, look, space travel via wormholes, so we can't currently go any further from there. But what I am going to do is put them on intercept, so if anything comes through, then they will try and get past, and we can stop them. Although it's got very small guns, we might be able to stop anything else. So let's, you know, if there's just a scout coming through, then we should be able to stop them. Now, I'm a bit worried because I haven't yet met anyone, so I'll just auto-move that ship. Here we go. Here's the first. There we go. Unknown fleet. That is automatons. Is it? Is that automatons? I don't know whether that's the automatons or not. Is that automatons? That is, though, our first faction that we've met. Or we haven't technically met them yet. We've only found their ship. We'll need to go to there or further along to actually find them. So anyway, completed construction tells the GS1 and Kuma, which we should obviously rename GS2. There we go. And we're also going to buy out heavy isotope refineries and then go for sustainable farms, which increase our food on arid. There we go. In fact, why is that putting it in the first queue? I don't know. There we go. That's all that's sorted. End the turn. Turn 13 going to 14. Looks like GS1 has finished its upgrading, so we need to put something into it next. We can't really do anything yet because, well, there's nothing to get, so we're just going to convert this. We'll spend this turn converting our industry, which is 37, into dust, or rather 33% of it. There we go. We'll close that. Another level up for our hero. Again, we're going to give him, we could give him either a bit more labor or give him plus 10 industry on system. I think we're just going to go for, what do you want to go for? See, once you go up the industry for the director, you eventually get this little cement mixer thing. It's a little bonus. I think we're just going to go for a straight plus 10 right there. There we go. That'll do us quite nicely. We'll move some stuff. You can see our scouts a little bit faster than there. Yeah. Are they the sewers or are they the automatons? I don't know. Anyway, looks like this area is blocked out. If the lines here are white, it means that they are non-aligned. However, if they've got a colour to them, then you know that there's someone else there. So if this starts going that teal sort of light blue colour, you know that it's going to, it means that they've colonised that system there. You can see that's currently not got an influence bubble. That's because it's still an outpost, so people can attack it and destroy it as normal, basically for free. You don't have to be at war or anything like that. You can just go for it. Right, only one turn until we get our upgrade, which will be star system improvement there. We'll then going to go for isolation shields, and we'll end the turn there. That will go at 15. And then I need to, so this xenology, we've now got 2 pieces of research there. We now know we can use things like red sang, blue cap mold, dust water, and hydromeal, which is basically the chili pepper resource. And all of these are telling us that we've discovered some resources, but we're not really, we might be using them. We've got dust water here, which as you can see is plus 2 food and plus 1 dust per person on the planet, per population, which is quite good. So we're already exploiting that dust water there. Let us go here. We'll stop doing the industry conversion, but we are going to go for 0 tourism agencies, 2 turns to get that. We could change this Terran planet to move from the alien grafting, which is currently our exploitation of food, to, say, exploitation of industry, which we might do depending on how long it's going to take to get the desert and barren, which will probably take quite a while. So in fact, that'll be our next thing. I'll tell them to move over like that. Although we could, what might be better is if we actually build another colony ship. I think that might be in order. Let's just move our scout, and we can see that they've got a ship there. Look. Right, so it's got 77 military power. That's the fist thing. That's a generic overall term we use for... Ah, that's interesting. Generic overall term we use for their power, their military sort of power. That's why it's called military power, I guess. You know, how tough they are, basically, how strong. How like we are to get our face kicked in. Looks like they've got a hero there as well. Look, you can see they've got a hero. We haven't got a hero for our fleet yet, so we should probably buy one. We might even buy that one in the next couple of turns. That's an interesting one. We haven't visited that planet, but they've got a ship in the middle of nowhere there, which means there's a line going that way to a planet around here. We know it's not connected to that, so it could be anywhere around there. Could be there, could be right here. We'll move the auto move, and we found... Ah! We have found their home system. And obviously, they are now attacking me. So, military power at 77, mine's at 20. My battle action, because you have to select several actions here, is going to be run away, retreat. Okay, so I basically turn up, I go, and run away. You have 3 different ranges. You have long range, medium range, and melee. I actually call it long, medium, and short. It's easier. We can change our formation. Look at all that. Look at the formations there. And our fire rate as well. I don't really mess around with that too much. This is what I'm saying about, I think the fighting's a little bit, like, overcomplicated. I don't really, maybe someone who's, you know, delved further into the game than I have will have an understanding of why you would use different fleet formations and such, but I've never seen any use for it. Anyway, I'm going to click auto because I'm just going to run away. I might get back. It looks like I have run away. There we go. I've been defeated by them running away. However, that's their home system, which means that my home system is only 2 jumps from theirs, which is really, really worrying. So, I've met my first ally. It is the Sowers. Yeah, the Sowers. I thought it was Automnans, but it's the Sowers. So, if we go to our diplomatic tab here, you can see that there they are there. We can have a little click on them, and we can declare war, but we're not going to do that because we don't want to declare war against them. They can be aggressive. They're sort of the neutral. They can fight, but like everybody else, they can fight, but they generally are not overly aggressive. So what we might do, hopefully we can get some nice ally bonuses going with them. We need to really capture this sooner rather than later. Well, that's a Tundra and an Arctic, though, which is going to be difficult to get. Tundra is that one. What we'll do then, we'll research that first, and our next ship will go there and capture that, which means then they can't come into this bit, and then that's mine, ha! Yes, if we can be very friendly with them, that'll help out, because it means I only need to worry about this wormhole, and again, that's very defensible. Right, there's our research going on there, moving our scout ship back. We've got 3 more turns until our colony ship is done, and only 3 more turns until our research is done there as well. Speaking of research, it looks like GS2 has just finished that, so we can, or research, rather upgrade, I should say. Alien grafting on our medium arid, rich atmosphered, dust water covered planet. It's actually one of the best planets I've got. In fact, if we just click on our Empire screen, we can see that it is currently... it's not actually winning anything at the moment, as you might expect, but it's still not bad for a starting system. I think I'm going to reduce my tax rate a little bit to 30%, just to get our approval up. You can see they're happy. More approval, they breed faster. Right, cool. Let us just guard that area there, and we'll end the turn. Now, I could go for... I really do need to build some, some defensing ships, because I currently don't have any defensing ones. But we'll see. We will end the turn once more. This will be turn 20, and we have a colony ship. There it is there. So we have a new colony ship. You can see this bubble shrank a little bit. That's because we've actually used one of the population on our planet there. But you see the colony ship is there. I'm going to not create it, because that will be next episode's thing. So far, we've got our xenobotany, and we can now land on that planet there, that large tundra, which is quite good. In fact, I might as well do it because I know I'm going to do it, so I'll send it over there. Now, we do need to do some more research, which I think will be going up to relativistic economics, which allows us to trade, but also, more importantly, offer peace and ceasefire to these guys, which hopefully they will accept. And I think we will leave it there. So far we've found only one other faction, and they are not overly aggressive, so that's quite good, because fighting in the very first instance generally doesn't work because of one of the changes they made was that you can't just go to a planet and take it over instantaneously unless you have troops, and troops are generally later on in the tech tree. Where's some troops? There's bombs. Troops are... There's some troops there. Assault troops. So it takes a while to get there to take stuff over instantly. You can go and start sieging like you did in the original game, but you can't take it over instantaneously. So generally attacking right at the start is not a great thing, unless it depends. If you might have different technology depending on what your faction is, etc. But yeah, you might want to do that. But I don't. I don't have the technology to really go and fight, and I just don't want to aggravate them, because if I start a fight with them, I don't know what this side. Just too early to start a fight yet. Yeah, but we will be starting fights. I promise you that. Anyway, as always, comments in the comments, and we will go from there. Next episode, colonize that system. What we want to do maybe is try and nick that barren planet there, Husk of Knowledge. Jump on there again, 25% approval, and it's also the Endless Wonder. Oh, yeah. It's we need to restore it, but that's yeah, Auriga, look, Auriga, fantastic. Anyway, we'll see what happens next episode. As always, as I said, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourself, and generic partings.